Pick a law firm that, number one, has actually handled brain injury cases before. Secondly, pick a law firm that has actually tried brain injury cases before. And third, pick a law firm that you feel cares about you and what you're going through and offers you solutions right now to the things you're going through and doesn't just focus on the amount of money that you're going to get for your case. Our law firm is in a unique situation to understand the nature of traumatic brain injuries because of our niche professional athlete practice. For more than 20 years, we've been representing professional football players, professional hockey players, men and women who play soccer, men and women who play basketball. Head injury is an incredibly common problem with our professional athletes. They're kind of the gladiators of the modern culture. And virtually all of them get concussions. And, back when I was a kid, if you were playing football in the backyard and you rung your bell and you saw stars, that was sort of a badge of courage. And your dad would go, "Way to go, did you get back in the game?" Little did we know 20 or 25 years ago that was actually a brain injury that caused our bell to ring and the stars to dance around our eyes, and that we needed to be a little cautious. Thanks to the courageous players who stood up to the NFL in the concussion litigation, we all have a better understanding of how dangerous brain injuries are. I can tell you from our representation, we've handled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of brain injury cases, not just for athletes, but for everyday folks, from beginning to end, all the way to trial. And there are a few common themes. Number one, almost none of the folks who have these life-changing brain injuries have any kind of test, an MRI, an EEG, neuropsychological testing, no test that proves they were injured. This is even true of professional football players who we know get all these concussions, and when they're tested, the medical evidence says they're fine. That was the NFL's defense, and we know that's not true. Well, the same thing is true for you. Just because your doctor tells you your tests are normal and you're fine, doesn't mean you don't have a brain injury. If you don't have a lawyer who's represented other people who've heard the same thing from their medical professionals about how there's nothing wrong with them, then you're in the wrong place. The second thing you have to do is you have to have a lawyer who knows how to guide you. What are the symptoms to look for? What kind of doctor do I go to see? The symptoms are not just headache. It's not just nausea. It's not just loss of consciousness right afterwards. It's ongoing problems with memory or multitasking. It's ongoing problems with sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound. It's ongoing problems with anxiety or depression or irritability. Those are classic brain injury symptoms that can be taken care of by a team of neurologists and neuropsychologists who can help you actually get better. But if your doctors are telling you you're fine, you're not going to get better. The third thing you got to do is you got to hire a law firm who has stood in a courtroom on behalf of a client with a brain injury where the doctors say the tests are all normal and have proven to that jury that their client had a brain injury even in the face of normal testing. It's that kind of law firm that we are. We fight for our clients. When our client tells us we have these symptoms, we don't say, "No, you don't." We find a way to prove it, and we fight to prove that in court, and we've had success at that. And so when you're deciding whether or not to hire a lawyer or whether or not to hire our law firm, make sure you ask your lawyer, how many brain injury cases have you tried, and how did they go?